Is Ohio State a perennial playoff school if it was in the SEC? As long as it's still in Ohio, I would say yes, because I think the talent is that good there and they dominate the talent just this short of LSU. The only school that even comes close when I covered recruiting, the kids saying they're going to stay in state. Now, some went to Michigan, but the only state school that even came close to LSU as far as kids saying, I ain't leaving if they want me, was Ohio State and the state of Ohio. Kids just did not regularly leave there. So, I think Ohio State, if they were in the SEC, Amanda, is hands down a perennial playoff team. I think they're there every year. Now, do they beat Alabama or Georgia? I don't know.
I don't think so. I don't think they're there every year. In college football playoff, if they're in the SEC, are they there every year? No.
Okay, I assume we're saying the 4 and not the 12.
Correct.
I think they would be at least 4, 5, or 6 every single year, which would be right on the cusp, which would be making it. I think let's put it this way. I think they would make it 50% of the time and the other 50% be knocking on the door. Are we kind of on the same page there, or is that too strong?
That's too strong for me. I think that they may make it once every 4 or 5 years. Maybe. I just don't think that when they come up against SEC opponents and we're taking out, was it 2013 or 2014 where they played Alabama? We're going to take that out. Other than that, when they come up against like really good SEC teams, they normally don't come out great on the other side. I just don't think, or at least not to my recollection, I just do not see them I know they have great talent and I get all of that, but I think if you stuck them in the SEC, they would have at least 2 losses every season, if not more.
Then we get in this hypothetical of what would the conference look like? Would the East include Ohio State, Alabama, and Georgia? Or would they be in the West? Or I don't know. So if they had to, okay, I'm going to amend what I said. If they had to play Alabama and Georgia every year like Tennessee, no, they would not be as good as what I just said. If they had to play one of them, then I'll stick by they're in the playoffs 2 out of 4 years, 50% of the time. You don't have to worry about 50% of the time when it comes to the chill pills. They work every single time. Chill pills are fantastic. They have specific formulas for issues like arthritis and digestive issues. Make your pet and wallet happy by using the exclusive code off the hook, available at crafttreats.com. You save 20% at checkout with the exclusive off the hook discount code. So that's all you got to do. And it helps with pet anxiety. It helps with also arthritis. My dog is way different when it's able to take advantage of the chill pills, which is pretty much daily. So check them out. Don't forget, you save 20% at checkout with exclusive code off the hook. Your pet and your wallet will thank you for that. I want to get right back to what everybody has to say about coaches. What would Ohio State be? And we'll talk some LSU as well. Back in 2 minutes. Stick with me.
It's Gary Viles here, Viles Automotive on Callahan Drive. I've been selling cars here in East Tennessee for 27 years. In that time, I've come to realize it's not about the car. It's about you, the customer. So I'm here to take care of you just like family. Good credit, bad credit, you name it, we can get you taken care of. If we don't have it, we can find it for you. We go across the country to get any vehicle that you want. And here at Viles Automotive, we don't believe in fake numbers. We just give you great deals. And as always, we want, we need, and we appreciate your business.
Do you want to own the more that owns every job? Then get to Vassey Lawn and Garden in Cleveland and get you a Toro. I'm David Vassey, here to talk to you about Toro. With a Toro Zero Turn, you'll get more out of every minute and you'll reach the finish line faster. At Bassey's, we like to say, no matter if you're mowing 3 acres a week or 11 lawns a day, homeowners and business owners alike find confidence in equipment they can trust from top to bottom.
Bassey Lawn and Garden, Highway 60 North in Cleveland.
Man alive, it's worth the drive.
This is Steve Rain. I own the Midnight Oil and Michelin Tire Direct service station here in Ottawa. It's not a fancy place, never has been, but it's a clean place with clean restrooms and good folks who work here. We sell gas and fix cars, nothing glamorous, but we love what we do, and we're going to keep doing it for a long time to come. There's not many real service stations left, and that's a shame. We're the guys just like the guys back in your hometown. We'll fix your tire, change your oil, and put a new set of Michelins on your car. If you want a Twinkie, you'll just have to keep on going. Thanks for the business.
Hi, Mike Davis here with City Heating and Air, reminding you to always dare to compare. Our team provides quality local heating and air service, installation, and maintenance across East Tennessee. We use only the best equipment like American Standard heating and air conditioning for your residential, new construction, or commercial needs. Honesty, dependability, and customer satisfaction have been the cornerstones of our business since 1961. City Heat and Air.
Dare to compare.
Folks, don't make a mistake. It's going to cost you thousands of dollars. If you're in the Knoxville area and you don't go to andymasonrealestate.com, crazy. Because I made that mistake. I went to school with Andy in high school. I didn't know he became a realtor right out of high school. So he's been doing it for a lot of years. Andy, I don't want to age you here, but he has two tenets of his business. One, best prices. Two, best service. And I got taken advantage of by another realtor. We only endorse those that we do business with, that we believe in, or that if we need their services, we would do business with. And I totally believe in Andy Mason, andymasonrealestate.com. You've probably, if you've moved houses, you've probably had good and bad real estate experiences. You'll only have a great one with Andy Mason, andymasonrealestate.com. So the message board's absolutely lit up today. And Orange Blood says, as things are now, it depends if they play Georgia and Bama every season. So we're talking about, would Ohio State be a perennial playoff team if they, what are you waving your hand for and smiling?
No, I'm just excited about, I have some things to share. So I'm just excited about it.
Yeah. Amanda's throwing heat like roided up Roger Clemens today. Heat.
Going for it. Going for it.
All right. So what do you have? You have something good. You have that gleam in your eye. Is it gleam or glean?
It's glean. So
it's glean.
Guess, just, I don't even want to say guess. I'm just going to run this down. All right. Ohio State versus South Carolina all-time record. 0-2. 0-2. Ohio State versus Florida all-time record. 0-2. Ohio State versus Tennessee all-time record. 0-1. Ohio State versus Georgia record. 0-1. Ohio State versus Alabama record. 1-4. Ohio State versus Auburn record. 0-1-1. Like, this is,
you're beyond Roger Clemens now. You're Mariano Rivera, who is the only player to be a unanimous selection in the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame. So you went with the heat first, and then you went with the cutter. So that would be the cutter, which is still coming in at 90 plus miles an hour, but just threw me for a loop. So those records, can you combine them real quick in your head? Can you do the math while I tell you something special?
Yeah, tell me something special and I'll do the math for you.
Okay, I'll tell you something special. Zool Beer Company is the official craft beer of Off the Hook Sports. Zool Beer Company has a great location downtown. Zool Beer Company, xulbeer.com is the place to go. Fantastic merch, worldwide award-winning craft beer. It's awesome. Was that long enough to do math, Amanda?
Yes, Ohio State 1-11
111 versus SEC teams.
versus those SEC teams
Those
that I
SEC
just named. Those SEC
the
teams.
decent ones. Yes.
Yeah, the decent ones.
So earlier, Brandon made a statement. Just the grind of an SEC schedule is worth a loss or two that they normally wouldn't have just because of injuries and having to use more of the depth that they keep. I'm going to say that that's not the case anymore because it's tougher than other conferences, but I used to be 100% on board. I don't think that the SEC is as physical as it was previously. Who are the physical teams in the SEC now? Georgia, Alabama still defensively. I would argue offensively, they've got slid a little bit too much to the finesse side. Arkansas. Who else is physical? Who else is just a really physical team that you go into right now this year that you say when you come out of the Alabama game, you want to play a UT Martin next because you're beat all to heck. So, and that's the same case for Georgia. How many teams do you really say that about anymore?
In the SEC this season right now, I'd say you go with obviously Alabama. You go with
Kentucky might be one. They're
Florida.
physical.
Florida's physical. I mean, they're physical. They're not great. They make stupid decisions, but they're physical. LSU is physical. They're going to be physical all year or all the time just because of their talent level. They're not great again right now, but they're going to be physical. Arkansas, I go back and forth on Arkansas. I mean, they can play lights out and they can play like dog crap. So, I mean, it's just like you go back and forth on Arkansas. Tennessee's physical team. You're going to be worn out by them. So I think I'd go with about half of the SEC is physical. Now the Big Ten is pretty physical as well. I think the Big Ten's a little behind on the type of offenses that SEC's really acclimated to. I think the Big Ten's a little bit behind. Ohio State's probably exception. Michigan's looking halfway decent, but when I think of the Big Ten, I think of like Iowa and Wisconsin, where it's still the ground and pound type game. We're not seeing, these Josh Heupel style offenses out there. We're not seeing just a massive amounts of yards through the air unless they're playing somebody who is Rutgers.
When I think physical, I think of that Pitt team. And they might not be great, they might not be talented, but you're hurting a little bit. And I was talking to Cooper after the Pitt game and off the air, and he wouldn't mind me sharing this. I said, "What do you feel like?" And he said, "Well, have you ever been T-boned by a car?" And I said, "Well, yeah, as a matter of fact, I have." And he said, "Like that?" He said, "It's not like muscle soreness where you go work out." He said, "It's like in your bones." It was that type of game. And I imagine Alabama and Georgia are even a step worse than that. So those are the.
Go ahead.
Nope, you got it.
No, I think Tennessee, I'm just going to say this because Pitt just lost to Georgia Tech. So I think Tennessee, if Tennessee fans want to be, have like a little notch in their belt, I think that Tennessee came out and ruined Pitt season. I mean, ruined it.
Well, Marlon mentioned, and he was at the game, Marlon McKinney of Vol Stuff, who is just simply awesome at putting together all the news of the day that you'll find on offthehooksports.com, says, "I didn't count the number of Pitt players helped off the field against the Vols, but there were a bunch."
Yeah.
So Pitt was physical, but Tennessee was, even though they're a finesse team offensively, they definitely matched that. So didn't want to imply that they were out physicaled at all, which I don't think is actually a word. But